Dear viewers, beautiful and handsome candidates, welcome to the session and I greet you in the name of God, Allah. Before we look at the second, that is 22, the 22 activity, we need to go through the previous work. We introduced a new aspect, which is speeches. We took you through the introduction, the types of speeches, the word speech. We took you through all that. So I want to begin with the corrections of the previous work, which was about punctuating the sentences in direct speech. Let's look at it. So the activity was punctuate the sentences below correctly. The sentences were not punctuated. The first question, that is, I went home yesterday, the boy said. I went home yesterday, the boy said. So you were taken through the parts of direct speech sentences. That is, if a sentence is in direct speech, it has two parts. It has what we call the speech tag, and it has what we call the actual words of the speaker. So here, the sentence or the question is not punctuated. And you have to read it as, I went home yesterday, the boy said. So we need to punctuate it. You need to show me what the actual words are and what the speech tag is. So here, I want to punctuate it. So before we punctuate the sentence, you need to know what we call the punctuation marks. We call them quotation marks or inverted commas. So we are punctuating our sentence. I went home yesterday. You have a comma there, and then you close with inverted commas. I do like this. Then you end with the speech tag, the boy said. If you got it, put letter C beside that answer. Let's go to question 2, my dear candidates. Question 2 was, the teacher asked Naku, why are you late? Let me read it again. The teacher asked Naku, why are you late? I read it like that because the sentence is not punctuated. And we are punctuating sentences in direct speech. So we need to know the part of the question tag, the speech tag, and we need to know the part of the actual words. In the question given, the teacher asked is our speech tag. Naku, why are you late? These are the actual words. So we want to punctuate it. So our answer begins with the speech tag, the teacher asked. You put your comma, open, Naku. Since you are mentioning the proper noun, Naku, you need to have a comma. Why are you late? So it's a question, we have our question mark, then you close with the quotation marks. Since the statement was interrogative, take a note of that. If you got it right, put letter C beside it. If you got it wrong, write the correction correctly, and then punctuate the statement. Let's go to question 3, which is, I did my work last night, said the boy. I did my work last night, said the boy. So here our question begins with the actual words and ends with the speech tag, which means you're punctuated to have to open the quotation marks. We have the proper pronoun I, which begins our question, which must be a capital I. I did my work last night. These are the actual words. You have to begin with a comma, close with the quotation marks, end with a speech tag, and the boy said. So let's look at question 4, which is your mother at home, Ruth? The neighbor asked. The sentence is not punctuated. So we need to punctuate it. And the statement is interrogative form, but we need to punctuate it. So it begins with the actual words and ends with the speech tag. So if you have to punctuate, you have to begin with the quotation marks with the helping verb. Is your mother at home? So you're going to mention the proper noun, Ruth. You have to put a comma before Ruth. Is your mother at home, Ruth? Question mark, close with the inverted commas, then we end with the speech tag. The neighbor asked. Is your mother at home, Ruth? The neighbor asked. So this is the answer to question 4. Let's look at question 5. The girl said we shall perform well if you work hard. The statement is in affirmative. The girl said we shall perform well if we work hard. So want to punctuate it. This sentence begins with the speech tag and ends with the actual words of the speaker. So want to punctuate it, which means if you are to begin with the speech tag, we write our speech tag. After this, the word said, you put a comma, open the quote. Know that since our pronoun, we begins a sentence, how to be capital W, take note of that. We shall perform well if we work hard. A full stop comes first, then you write our quotation marks. A full stop comes first, then you write our quotation marks. Take a note of that. Let's look at question 6. Question 6 is, the matron asked children, did you wash your uniforms yesterday? Let me repeat it. The matron asked children, did you wash your uniforms yesterday? So the statement is in interrogative form, but we need to punctuate it. Remember, we're looking at sentences in a direct speech whereby we need to learn how to punctuate them correctly. So here our question begins with the speech tag and ends with the actual words. So we want to punctuate it. We shall begin by writing our speech tag, the matron asked, comma, open, the quotation marks or inverted commas. The actual words begin with the word children. Remember that the word that begins our actual word must begin with a capital letter. Our C must be a capital. Children, did you wash your uniforms yesterday? Write a question mark, then close the quotes. That is the answer for question 6. Take a note of that. Let's look at question 7, which is, I have seen a big snake in the peanut tree, said the little girl. The statement is in affirmative, and it begins with the actual words and ends with a speech tag. So if you punctuate it, you have to open. You open. You open with the quotation marks. Remember, it begins with the proper pronoun I. It must be a capital I. I have seen a big snake in the petrol train, comma, close the quotes. Take a note of that. No, they're not there, but close. They must be this side, close, then the other side, close the quotes. Then say, said the little girl. Open, capital I, proper pronoun. I have seen a big snake in a petrol train, comma, close. It's an error there. But I know that you have seen it. Close. Then N, said the little girl, which is our speech tag. Let's look at question 8, the last question, which was in a interrogative. Juma asked Aisha, do you know the question to this? Do you know the answer to this question? Let me repeat it. Juma asked Aisha, do you know the answer to this question? The statement is in interrogative form, but we need to punctuate it since we're looking at the direct speech sentences, which must be punctuated well or correctly. So this statement is in interrogative form, but we need to punctuate it well, and it begins with the speech tag and ends with the actual words of the speaker. So if you are to punctuate, you have to begin with, by opening, we don't need to open since it begins with the speech tag. You write Juma, J must be a capital one. Juma asked, you put a comma, open. The name, the proper noun, that is Aisha, begins our sentence. You need to make it a capital A after having opened Aisha. Do you know the answer to this question? You write a question mark and then you close. Take a note of that. The statement or the sentence begins with the question tag. Juma asked. That's the speech tag. Speech tag. Then actual word, open. Aisha, which must be a capital A. Since that's the proper noun that begins our answer. Comma there. Do you know the answer to this question? Question mark, and then you close. Now let me take you through today's activity, which is punctuation of the interrogative speech. These are sentences that are normally people use when carrying out their conversations. You may be talking to somebody, Or you may begin your sentence, then somebody comes in. You pause a bit. You bring the speech tag. Then you end with the actual words. So here I've said it is used to show that a person was speaking and was interrupted a bit. You have to take note of this. In these sentences, we call them interrupted speeches. The speech tag must be in the middle. For you to know, for you to understand this, the speech tag comes in the middle. The speech tag is placed in the middle. Let's look at the examples here. Example 1. I am saying Musa helping my mother with garden work. The statement is not punctuated, so we need to punctuate it. We call them interrupted speech. We have I am, I take it to be part of the actual words. Said Musa is our speech tag. Then helping my mother with the garden work. These are the words that end the actual words. I am part of the actual words. Then in the middle we have said Musa, it's our speech tag. Helping my mother with the garden work. These are also words that are ending our actual words. So if you are to punctuate it, you have to open I am. We have to make that proper pronoun, either capital I am, the first words of the actual words. Open, I am, put a comma there, close. Why do we close? Because we have a speech tag that has been put in the middle. Said Musa, comma there. We are ending our actual words, so you don't need to write a capital H. We are ending our actual words. Remember, I am, then somebody said Musa, comma, open. Helping my mother with garden work. That one should be a small h since you are ending our actual words. A full stop comes first and then you close. So call this one uninterrupted speech, where we have our speech tag in the what? In the middle. Where the speech tag has been placed in the middle. Take a note of that. That is this is called uninterrupted speech. Let's have example 2. Example 2 reads, why asked Dollar, did you eat my apple, Godfrey? The sentence is not punctuated. That's the way I have to read it. So we need to punctuate it. Why begins our actual words. Then after why, we have our speech tag. Why, asked Dorothy. Did you eat my apple, Godfrey? So we need to punctuate it. Since our why is part of our actual words, we need to open. I need to open. I open our statement begins with the why, interrogative pronoun. That means you have to make that W a capital 1. Why? Put a comma, close. Then after that, we write our speech tag, which is ask Dorothy. Put a comma there. You also open to end the actual words. Did you eat my apple, Godfrey? Since the statement is interrogative form, before the proper noun, Godfrey, you must have a comma. After Godfrey, you write your question mark, and then you close. Let me repeat. Why is the word that begins our actual words. Why? You open, make sure you have written W a capital 1, put a comma, close. Then you write our speech tag. Ask Dorothy is our speech tag. You put a comma there, then open. To complete the actual words, did you eat my apple? Must have a comma there before the proper noun, Godfrey. End with a question mark, then you close. So a sentence has to be, why? Ask Dorothy, did you eat my apple? Godfrey. Why? Asked Dorothy. Did you eat my apple? Godfrey. That's the way it should be read. Let's have question 3. It reads, we are, say the conductress, collecting the bus fare now. We are, say the conductress, collecting the bus fare now. Let me give you a chance to punctuate this statement, which I know that you have got it right. So our sentence begins with the actual words, we are. The 2 words we are part of the actual words. Then we have our speech tag, said the conductress. Said the conductresses is our speech tag. Collecting the bus fare, remember it's the part of the actual words, so we need to punctuate it. It has to be, begin with the invalid commas, we are, part of the actual words, put a comma, close, then bring our speech tag. Say the conductress, you put a comma there, then open, completing the actual words. Collecting the bus fare now. Let me repeat, open, beginning the actual words, we are. Remember, this is an interpreted speech. Say the conductress, collecting the bus fare now. What I know that I've punctuated it well. We are, followed by our speech tag, a comma, open to complete the actual words, collecting the bus fare. A full stop comes first, and then you close. Let's go to question 4, which reads, Have you inquired the librarian ever eaten macaron? Have we inquired the librarian ever eaten macaron? The statement is not punctuated. That's how we should read it. Have you inquired the librarian ever eaten macaron? So we need to punctuate this statement, whereby have you, these are the words that begin our actual words. Then inquired the librarian is a speech tag. Ever eaten macaron? These are the words that end our actual words. So how are we going to punctuate it? So our helping verb have begins our actual words. So you open, make sure that one should be a capital H, since the word that begins the actual words. The first letter must be a capital one. Have you put a comma, then you close. Then followed by speech tag, inquired the librarian. Inquired the librarian, comma, open, ever eaten macaron? So the statement is in interrogative form. Take note of that. Have you? These are the words that begins our actual words. Then followed by the speech tag. Inquire the librarian. Ever eaten macaron? So you have to write a question mark, end with inverted commas. You close. Take a note of that. Have you? These are the words that begin the actual words. Somebody was interrupted. Inquire the librarian, our speech tag. Then words that end our actual words are ever eaten macaron. So comma, open, write those words, question mark, then you close. So take a note of that. Let's look at our last statement or question. It reads, How beautiful the stranger exclaimed this lady is. How beautiful the stranger exclaimed this lady is. The statement is not punctuated. So let me give you a chance to punctuate it. You have to take a note of the actual words, take a note of the speech tag, and the words that end our actual words. So here, our statement begins with the actual words. So how are we going to punctuate it? This. Open with the valid commas, we call them quotes. That interrogative word, how, begins our speech tag. So that one must be a capital H. Take a note of that. How beautiful. How beautiful. We've not yet completed our actual words. How beautiful. Comma, close. Then our speech tag comes in. The stranger claimed. This lady is. It is. How beautiful. The stranger claimed. This lady is. So this statement, we call it an exclamatory statement. Somebody is wondering about the beauty of the lady. How beautiful the stranger claimed this lady is. So what I know that you have punctuated it well. You have begun with the actual words. After that, our speech tag came in. Then after the speech tag, you need to complete the actual words. So what you have to take note of, the way how sentences must be punctuated. Take a note of the words that begin with the speech tag, the actual words, followed by the speech tag, then the actual words. So you should learn how to punctuate these sentences, which we've called the interrupted speech sentences. They're also in direct speech. We've not yet looked at the indirect speech. The sentences are in direct speech, and you have to learn how to punctuate them. Members, I really thank you. I wish you a good day. Bye-bye.